Today's video, we are talking gross commission income, or GCI, the acronym that real estate agents use. Now, if you're an experienced real estate agent, you probably already know how to calculate GCI. But if you're new, you might not know how to do so. So to start off the video, I'm going to go ahead and give you an example, and we will calculate GCI together. And then I'm going to discuss with you the number of appointments that I have scheduled as an inside sales agent for my teams in the last about 4.5 years. I'm going to discuss or share with you the estimated sales volume that my teams have done as a result of the appointments I've scheduled. And that will give us an idea as to how much GCI was generated just from the appointments alone. So let's get started. Okay, before we actually calculate the GCI, I just want to distinguish between list price and sales price. List price is the price that you and your seller agree to list their home for on the market. Sales price is the amount that the home actually sells for after some negotiation on both sides. So for our example today, we're going to say the home was listing for sale at $1.2 million. And then after the negotiation, it ends up selling for $1 million even. Now, we do know that the commission agreed upon with the seller is always negotiable. I've seen commission rates anywhere between 4 and 6%. For today's example, we're going to say that when you secured the listing with the seller, you agreed upon a 6% commission. Now, usually that 6% is going to be split evenly between you, the listing agent, and then the buyer's agent, the agent that brings in the buyer. We take 6% of the $1 million sales price, that's $60,000 in commission. And that $60,000 is going to be split evenly between you and the buyer's agent, so each side gets $30,000. So now that we're on the same page about GCI, let's get into my appointment totals. Now, the very first year that I was an ISA, I was scheduling both listing appointments and buyer side appointments. And my numbers are a little bit rough, but I believe I scheduled 71 appointments in that first year. I've been in the role of an ISA for about 4.5 years now. In total, I have scheduled 223 appointments. That's roughly about 50 appointments a year. So that brings us to sales volume. But before we get into that number, I just want to clarify two things. The first one being that I have worked in top 10 markets. Top 10 markets have expensive properties. So I don't want this number to discourage you. I want this number to encourage you about the possibilities of what lies out there when you schedule these appointments and start working the phones, okay? Now, if you're in a top 10 market, you're gonna have expensive price properties. These are big cities. That's just the way it is. Keep that in mind. And then secondly, when I started scheduling appointments, I didn't really understand the big picture of what I was doing. I was just trying to get people not to hang up on me and also keep my job in the process. But then I got a little bit wiser to what was happening and how much money was coming in and the value of an ISA to a real estate team. So my number, and this is a rough number, is about $33 million in 4.5 years. So that's about a little over $7 million a year in top 10 markets. That does not take into consideration direct buyers or spin-off business, what I like to call it. What do I mean by that? Well, say I help my team get a listing and they list the home for sale and they have an open house. And somebody comes in, a buyer, and they don't have an agent. And my team ends up representing them as a buyer, not necessarily for that open house, for any home that they buy. Well, that is a spin-off business that has resulted from the appointment that I scheduled and the listing that they secured. So that's kind of the big picture of what is happening with an ISA on your team. I want you to take note of that because that adds to the value of the position. Okay, so now let's loop it back around to the beginning of this video. If the estimated sales volume is $33 million, let's just say that we were really doing well and we got 3% commission off that $33 million. That would give us a total GCI of $990,000. That's collectively that all my teams have earned or I've played a part in. Let's look at like I played a part in. And if it was a 2.5% commission for all of that $33 million in sales, that's $825,000 in gross commission income. That's a lot of money. That is why I wanted to make this video, because I really wanted to impress upon you personally, from my experience, the value of picking up that telephone and making these calls. And if you're not doing it yourself, then designating a person to be the ISA on your team. I hope you guys found the video to be helpful. If so, please leave me a thumbs up down below and consider subscribing to the channel. New videos are posted every Monday. I'll see you next time. Bye.